There's a lot of quotes coming out now from the Dallas Cowboys that need to be investigated.
Uh-oh.
Here's Jerry Jones talking about the Dallas Cowboys with and without Dak Prescott.
What does today's performance tell you about Dak's role in this team and what he's been doing this season?
Well, what do you mean?
Given that you saw what the team looked like without Dak, how do you tell, when you look at the difference, what do you think about Dak?
I don't want to be sarcastic, but you got the same arithmetic I've got? We've won 3 games with Dak. Okay, so I'm just saying, we weren't playing well with Dak at all.
Okay.
If Dak cannot come back, how much does that hurt your hopes for this season?
Well, I don't want to deal in hypotheticals, but anybody that loses their top quarterback has some adjustments to make, and they're usually adjusting uphill. And so I thought that basically we'd look better tonight without Dak. I thought we'd look better on offense than we looked without Dak.
He didn't mean
Seen Cooper play better than we played tonight. Philadelphia's got a lot to do with that. That's what it is.
Okay, so he says, I thought we played better tonight without Dak. And if you were to write that out, it would say, like, I thought we would play better without Dak.
Yeah.
He didn't mean that. He meant without Dak, I thought our team would certainly look a lot better than they did. They look like ass. They look like trash. And then you start thinking to yourself, I wonder how the locker room's handling it. Well, let's go to their superstar, Micah Parsons, afterwards.
Mike's on the final year of his contract, so outside there's, of course, going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are wondering about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year.
Amen.
But, all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants, but the guys I kind of feel bad for is guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
Okay, I love Micah being a teammate. Okay, I love him shouting out his team. Him burying Coach Mike McCarthy, whether he meant to or not, was certainly right there at the end of that. Joining us now, senior NFL insider for ESPN, to tell us how hot this seat is and maybe some potential others. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter. Shefty, Micah immediately goes on to X after the reaction. Everybody, he says, listen to my podcast on Bleacher Report, and I can explain my side after people have reacted the way that, I think anybody that heard what he said would react there about Mike McCarthy. Seemingly, Micah okay with Mike McCarthy leaving. Jerry feel same way. How do we feel about Mike McCarthy's job positioning after a very, and I can't stress this enough, very embarrassing loss to coach Nick Sirianni and their rival Philadelphia Eagles?
Look, here's the deal. Like, in the last year of his contract, Mike McCarthy always was going to have to win this year. They were always going to have a good season. And the season in Dallas just continues to slip further and further away. You're seeing a team that's regressing, not progressing. You're seeing a team that has more and more injuries, that loses its quarterback. Dak, I don't believe, is going to wind up playing again this season. He's in New York getting consultations with a specialist on surgery, which already is scheduled for Wednesday. Now, it's always possible that this doctor is going to say, hey, hold on, we don't need to do this. But they are preparing and operating with the idea that he's going to have surgery on Wednesday that would knock him out 3-4 months at least. So there's not a lot of hope in sight. And you got a head coach on an expiring contract. I think Mike McCarthy belongs as a head coach in this league. But in Dallas, they're going to have to do something. Yeah. And they paid the wide receiver and they paid the quarterback. And when the head coach is on a expiring contract, it's hard to imagine that all of a sudden they're going to go give him an extension after a season like this. So we'll see how this all plays out, but it's a tough time there right now. And, the Micah Parsons thing, if you listen to the whole thing, I don't think it's as egregious as people are making it out to be. I think he's just saying that coaches can always go somewhere, and there are players who are at the end of their career. It's probably not the best use of words after a loss with a team in the state that it is, but I don't think it's what people are making it out to be, like a player saying, Mike can go leave, get out of town. It's not like that.
Yeah, it was the end, I think. Everybody's talking about the first one, him saying a coach can do whatever he wants. Agreed. Coaches can coach seemingly forever, and they are. Tom Moore is still coaching for the Bucs. Tough loss yesterday, but still coaching for the Bucs. It was that end comment where he was like, Zach Martin, these guys have done much more than Mike McCarthy's ever done. It's like, well, Mike McCarthy, I don't think he's probably seen his family in like 4 years as your coach, and I understand he's not on the field doing his thing, but maybe he needs to drop himself in at tailback and fullback. We will listen to Mike's podcast to hear what he has to say for that entire thing, but good luck down there, everybody. Good luck.
I just want to point out, like, this is the state of the world we're in right now. Like, this star football player who we believe is going to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history has a podcast to talk about his comments about his head coach. Like,
is it a work?
That in and of itself is odd to me. Like, again, his job is to be the best football player he can be, and their season's not going great. So I don't know what he's going to say that's going to make people feel better. That to me, that's a whole other issue. I guess that's the day and age we're living in, right?
Well, seemingly, Micah is a little bit different because of how elite he is as a football player and how good he is as a football player.
Incredible.
He's so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you see him run around.
Immediate impact.
He's so good. I think he's the first one who's like really, really, really good that is like, you know what? Yeah, listen to my podcast. I'm not doing any other interviews. I'm only going to do my podcast. Usually the guys that are like really good at football kind of keep the main thing. Like that is kind of, and try not to stir shit. I mean, just last week or 2 weeks ago on that podcast, they didn't have Dak in the top 5.
Him and Jake.
So it was like, there's seemingly a lot of drama, but you know who loves it? Bleacher Report. Good sign in Bleacher Report.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody then says.
Maybe he was blinded. That wasn't Jerry Ross.
Yeah, because the sun.
Hey,
did you see the sun? Did you hear what Jerry? This is what Jerry had to say about the sun potentially being a reason why CeeDee Lamb couldn't catch a ball.
By the way, we know where the sun's going to be when we decide to flip the coin or not. So we do know where the damn sun's going to be in our own stadium.
Okay, we fucking know. All right, enough of the questions.
What, do you want me to tear the whole fucking stadium down, build a new one? Come on, get real.
Jerry's got a little sauce right now, AJ. He's got a little sauce.
How could he not? And all of his, like, I think, was he standing right outside like an elevator when he's doing his pressers? Like, where does he decide to do this?
So I think that is the same spot every single time. It has to be from his box down.
Look at this, though. It does look terrible. Like, when I was watching the game, like, man, there's so much like shade and then sun and then the angle of this, like, it is weird. It really is.
The ball goes from shade to sun too.
Yeah, you're trying to get that to be helpful for you because you know it. Like in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil, there is a time at a 1 o'clock game where the sun is definitely on one end and it's not on another end. So for me, like as a punter, that's like actual useful information. Like we're going to try. But if you don't win the toss or make the decision, you're kind of on. So Jerry's saying we do know about the sun. It's like, well, you don't always get to make the decision there, Jer, is what I think everybody's saying. You don't think we knew that the sun rises in the east and sets in the fucking west on Dallas Cowboys Stadium?
Come on.
At this time, clockwork, actual. Because it used to be the clock. Did you know that?
And then CD immediately after being like, yeah, the sun's a fucking problem. I couldn't see it all. Put some curtains up there.
Yeah, there's only like 8 of us who really know to the extent how big of a problem this sun is, and it's just people who've been big-time wide receivers for the Cowboys.
He's got the visor, too. He's got the, like, it's a very big problem.
They gave me a therapeutic exemption because of the design of this place. Yeah, doctor said, you're right, you shouldn't be staring into the sun like that, so they gave me this sick visor. Still didn't work. Still didn't see a damn thing. Murphy's Law with the Dallas Cowboys right now. Murphy's Law.
Yes. And we're going to keep seeing him on primetime. Going to keep talking about him.
Monday Night Football.
And that's going to make it, worse.
All right, Trey, let's go to the next one. This is from Tyler Frassinate 2. Hashtag, I don't want to overreact.
But
Jerry Jones is a worse owner than David Tepper.
Ooh.
No O-line or D-line. Linebackers suck. Only have one weapon in CD. No running game. Dipshit gets asked a valid question about the sun and acts like a moron. Eat a Hershey bar, Jer, and sell the team.
Feel good.
Then when it's like to get even worse? I don't understand what that's all about. I don't know what that's all about. A lot of shit on Jerry. And
it's just every week. I mean, I think like McCarthy gets some, but like from what I see, listen, McCarthy ain't the problem. It's Jerry.
Jerry put this on himself whenever he became the voice and the face of the team. Whenever things go well, I assume he's going to get a lot of credit. I haven't been around for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it has been going well.
But if it was, it would be. And then whenever it goes wrong, obviously it's 100% on him as well. Jerry Jones, he sells the team. It's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
He's not selling.
No chance.
That's a family operation. You know that.
Forever.
What if he looks at Steven, though?
You ain't fucking got it.
Yeah. You gonna be a GM?
I don't think so, pal. Fucking Bezos wants to give me $25 billion for this thing.
Fuck it.
He's been training up AI Jerry for that.
To answer questions?
Yeah, I mean, to run the team when he dies.
I didn't even think about that. Bezos,
A little bit of an upcharge, you know that? Sorry, a little bit of an upcharge in the tours. I think $40 for the tour, $70 you get to interact with AI Jerry.
Smart. I mean, you're only get around AI Jerry one time. Better ask him a question. It's like you do dinner with Jay-Z. Is that even possible?
I was gonna say.
Where the hell?
You gotta change that. You gotta change that scenario.
Where's everybody?
Where's everybody at? Where's the old adage was dinner with a perceived great business person,
Right.
or $250,000 or whatever it is, or $50,000, whatever the number is. It's like Jerry's like, you only get to see me one time. You're not gonna ask AI me a fucking question. You're a fucking doofus. $30 more bucks. How about the practice facility? They still giving tours out there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.